Hey, John Martinez back with you another day on the 21-day REI Sales Challenge. And today we're going to cover the perfect 3-step voicemail. So let's get into it. First of all, I just lied to you. Nothing is perfect, right? But we want to use a voicemail that gets the best results possible. So traditional voicemail, it just doesn't work, right? I mean, we know this. This isn't news to you. According to InsideSales.com and SalesBuzz.com, 80% of calls go to voicemail, and 90% of those are just never even returned. So when 90% aren't returned, that's a failure. They don't work. So let's talk about what does, because if you're spending your time, spinning your wheels, leaving voicemails that don't work, what's that really mean? Well, it means wasted time, wasted energy. And after you do a lot of that, your attitude takes a nosedive, right? And then everything suffers. But failed voicemails, what does this mean to your prospect? Well, traditional voicemails, traditional sales types of voicemails, usually when you leave those, you're giving your prospect a job that you know they're not going to do, right? Hey, call me back, do this, do this, do this. We know they're not going to do it. And as we do that, each voicemail that we leave, each call that's not returned, it actually, when we look at the data, it makes the situation worse. It really makes it so with each voicemail, you are actually lowering your chances of ever getting a call back. So in the sales world, it's like you're slitting your throat, right? It's tough because you got to follow up. We see all the data around it. We know we've got to follow up with people. But with each voicemail, we're actually decreasing our chances of getting a hold of that prospect. So that kind of puts us in an awkward position, right? I know I have to do this, but the way I'm doing it is leading to poor results. So let's talk about what the salespeople who are getting 7 out of 10 of their calls returned, 70%. Hey, that's a lot better than 10%, right? Shoot, even if you raise your 10% call return rate to 20 or 30, hey, that's a good freaking day. So let's talk about what the salespeople who can get 70% of their sales calls returned or find success on voicemail are actually doing, okay? The reason why we want to talk about these people is this. When they leave voicemails at work, that means they're keeping the conversation going, and ultimately they're winning more deals. And, we can see this again and again through tons of data, and I'm not going to bore you with data. I try not to do that in these simple daily REI sales trainings. I get lost in the data. I'm a total sales data nerd. But I'll only throw a couple of graphs and bar charts and things like that at you. So we know these people are winning deals because 8 to 12 contact attempts over a 10 to 14 day period is the optimal strategy to maximize the value of every lead. And that's from InsideSales.com, okay? So what if you could get your voicemails returned? What if you could actually leave voicemails that worked in your favor? Let's talk about how to do that. Step one, identify yourself. Your name, your company, and the reason for the call. That's how every voicemail should start, okay? Step number 2, give them an excuse. No need to make them feel bad for missing your call. So let's talk about this for just a second. Step 1 is obvious, right? Identify yourself. No one's going to return a call of, there was that old strategy of, oh, hey, Bob, this is whoever. Give me a call back. Or, hey, it looks like I missed your call. Give me a call back. Where really, some salespeople misled their prospects into calling them back, right? They used the, the confusion tactic, really, the curiosity. And then when people called back and realized they were calling back into a sales call, they were pretty pissed off. So we don't want to use that. We want to clearly identify who we are. Next, we want to give them an excuse, okay? Most of the time, they're not going to return your call. Now think about this. How many times have you avoided someone's calls? Let's say you avoided someone's call 2 times, 3 times. Maybe they voicemailed you, maybe they texted, whatever. What's that feel like when you finally, when they get through, you accidentally pick up that call and you realize, oh shoot, this is the person that I've been avoiding for 2 weeks. Feels bad, doesn't it? That's why we don't, we get to a certain point and we just figure, shoot, I've dodged this guy or this gal for so long, I can't return the call now. I can't pick up the phone because the first thing I'm going to have to do is explain why I'm such a jerk and I've been obviously avoiding their calls. So we don't want to put our prospects in that situation. We want to always give them an excuse. There's no need to make them feel bad about missing your call. So the first step 1 and step 2 of a good voicemail would sound like, hey, this is John with We Buy Houses. Anyways, I was giving you a call just to follow up on our last conversation. Hey, listen, I know you're super, super busy, so I don't expect you to call me back. Just wanted to reach out and touch base with you this way. And then what step 3? We outline next steps, right? We give a time frame, when the next steps will occur, and what we will do. We don't give them a job. So here's the final piece of that voicemail. Anyways, listen, again, I know you're super busy, so no sweat not returning my call. Here's what I'll do. I'll give you another call within the next 2 to 3 days. Again, if you don't pick it up, don't worry about it. We've talked. I know you got a lot going on, so no sweat at all. But I'll give you a call. If I get you, that's absolutely awesome. If not, no sweat. In the meantime, if you need to get a hold of me for any reason, here's my number. Here's my email. Call or text. Guys, that's it. Those are the 3 steps to a perfect voicemail. Identify who you are and why you're calling. Give them an excuse to save face. We know they're not going to return the majority of your voicemails, so make it okay. Don't put them in that awkward situation of never being able to return your call. And then you're going to simply outline your next steps. You're not going to give them a job. It's not our job as salespeople to say, you do this and you do this. We simply let them know what we're going to do next. Hey, I'm going to call you back again in this time period. Then here's the kicker. You're still giving them a way to contact you. Hey, if for any reason you want to contact me before then, no problem. Here's my number, call or text me. Here's my email address if that works better for you. And that's a little bonus tip at the end. The bonus tip is this. We all have our own ways of communicating. Don't assume because you're calling, they'll call you back. Make it possible for them to text you or email you as well. Let them communicate with you the way they like to communicate, right? That way, you'll also get better responses. So just to recap, step 1, identify yourself and why you're calling. Step 2, give them an excuse, a way to save face for not returning your calls or picking up the phone. Step 3, outline your next steps, but also let them know how they could get a hold of you in case they need to before you reach out again. Guys, that's the 3 steps to a perfect voicemail sequence. Question for you is the same question I have every day. What would your business look like if you doubled or tripled your voicemails, in this case, that were returned? Well, shoot, if you want to find out, put this 3-step voicemail procedure to work, and I guarantee you'll see. This is John with the 21-day REI Sales Challenge, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.